And hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of the No Shots Fired podcast. We've got this one titled, it's a salty little title. It's called Frolfing with the Boys, which requires no further explanation. I was going to say we'll talk about that later, but...
Do it, Kenny Loggins. Do it.
You're there.
It's time.
Today we're going to be talking about not Frolfing or Kenny Loggins. We're going to be talking about Adventures Marvel Time. Going to give you all of the latest on the latest Marvel movie. That probably isn't true at this point.
It's
been
not, I don't
movies.
think. I think there has there been one?
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man doesn't really count. Mega Man X, Link's Awakening, Fable, Darkest Dungeon. Gonna have a little D&D update for you. And finally, we'll end with your questions. Logan, I'm really glad you've stopped by. If you could get your questions in now, we'll answer them at the end. This will be about an hour. Love if you hear the whole time, but usually people stick around for like... You're probably already gone. Anyway, let's jump right in to a salty little movie. It was the 98,006th Marvel movie, wrapping up all of those 98,005 threads that had previously been laid out like a giant tapestry, and just weaving them together perfectly in one beautiful coda to the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I want to hear what everybody thought about Adventures, Schmadventures, Adventures. That's the word. It's not adventure. The movie.
Excellent use of Dear Mr. Fantasy at the very beginning of the film.
All right, really liked
Really,
the intro song.
I enjoyed that. His family dusted, and it's like, oh, this isn't good. Then that song queued up, and I was like, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. Steve Winwood's here to talk about.
All right, is that the end of your comments?
I mean, lopping his head off 15 minutes into the film surprised me.
Yeah, that...
What do you mean? I walked out at that point.
Oh, you're like, job done. They did it.
Yeah. I was surprised with how short it was. Is what really got me.
Right? Bold. You got to give them credit for going for it. They said, "Hey, we built this awesome axe. Just use it."
Well, see, I'm not big on spoilers, so I don't stay for the after credits cinematics.
Okay.
I hear those have gotten really
those.
long
They got a little verbose with this one.
Okay. Right. Justin, what'd you think about
what?
The Avengers, Infinity, and Captain Marvel is also here?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Oh, well, we can't actually talk about it then.
I'm just kidding. I've seen it. It's been months.
Okay. I hadn't seen it until the flight home.
Good movie. I'm glad that one giant guy died because I hate people bigger than me. That was like my least favorite thing.
No, the Hulk survived.
He meant Thanos.
I know.
No, the green one. He's always angry. It makes me angry.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. He's not as angry anymore,
Justin
is he?
saw a different movie than we did then.
He enjoys Mexican food now.
Ooh, maybe this was a clue thing where they gave different endings and we just don't know about it.
Did you guys say movie?
Yeah.
No, this was one of those quick doodle things, and you write it on the edge of your paper and you play it to yourself.
Okay.
J
Money's having a feat. J Money's having a feat.
No,
the flip book. He made an Avengers flip book.
Well, I watched. It wasn't really watching. I filled out an Avengers Mad Lib, and so I probably have very different end result. It's funny because it was like, this is a farty skyscraper, and I wrote in farty.
No.
And then I'm like, oh no, it's
no.
a farty fan. I put in farty for every noun, adjective, and what have you.
That was very smart of you to do.
I mean, so as soon as they introduce a kid for Iron Man, you're like, okay, well, that's that then. He's had it, right?
I actually immediately pinpointed him as the one.
He's gone.
My uncle at the very start of the movie, my mom asked, "Oh, is he died? And I said, well, no. And I didn't explain why, because just narratively it wouldn't make sense for him to just die at the beginning of the sequel.
Run out of oxygen and die. That would have been awesome. I would have loved that way better than how he
It
actually.
would have been,
says-
yeah.
My uncle says, yeah, and I'm like, no, they wouldn't have done that. He's like, yeah, Tony Stark dies in this movie. So I'm like, well, now I know the big spoiler. That sucks.
Well, I like the twist that, so he does die in the beginning. The twist is he's Thanos at the end because he uses the gauntlet, and only bad guys do that. Only bad guys dust people.
But
Only bad guys
also-
dust people.
We're not out anything because he had no superpower. He was just rich.
And very, very intelligent.
Well, it's debatable. It's
He kind
subjective.
of had this sardonic.
It's like you didn't
sarcastic
see
wit.
the first movie where he invents human flight. Justin.
He's also a giant douchebag. So
You literally
Oh,
watch
yes.
him invent
I
flight.
say good riddance.
I like. So again, but he did the Thanos thing. He dusted people. All those people he's dusted, those flying space worms. I want
Yeah.
to see the backstories about flying space worm and flying space worms. 9,000 flying space worm kids.
Well, get
All
ready
right.
for
So-
Phase 7 coming to you 2025.
If we want to talk about people he's dusted, how about when he shut down the whole military sector of his business? How many jobs?
That is a lot of jobs. Oh
I'm
my
sure
God,
they
he
were
dusted.
they were replaced in the arc reactor division.
No.
I'm with Doc
I'm
here.
sure there's like maybe 2 engineers probably. It's probably mostly automated.
All right. Well, see, it sounds like J Money hasn't paid attention to the business section of the newspaper for a goddamn minute.
I just think his dad would be so disappointed in him for not. I'm gonna move on. I didn't really have any end to that sentence. We're just gonna leave that one. We're gonna dust that one. Let's dust that moment. Move on.
Okay. Name a type of material.
Silver
Name a body part.
Silver.
arm,
Name an adjective.
Silvery.
farty,
Name a verb.
Silvering.
silverine. Yeah.
I'm gonna put sivering because I missed an L. Verb ending in S.
Silvers.
That's
Here's
right.
a quick another adjective.
Glimmery.
Alloying.
Plural noun. Only 20 more, guys.
Okay. All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's
Okay.
only
Foxes,
6 more. 6 more.
falcons, foxes, farts,
Okay, body part.
Leg.
Quick, fast verb.
weakens,
Okay. Person in the room.
Valen.
Jesus Christ,
Kind of like Jesus
Bless up.
Christ, right? Verb ending in S.
Hates.
Place.
London,
The Shatterdome.
2 verbs ending in S.
Wasting our time.
Wasting.
loses, and
Adjective.
I just...
Just 2 more.
leisurely adjective, right?
Oh, wait. I know what I was going to talk about.
Item of clothing.
Shirt.
What were you going to talk about, Doc?
I'm
I-
kind of committed to this now.
I recently finished another piece of media. And boy, it was a journey. I can tell you that much.
Was
Is it
it?
the Evangelion?
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah. Nailed
Um,
it. Spoiler alert. I knew what you were gonna say.
Yeah. So, I
guys.
real quick for the group here.
Yeah.
I want it. I want it. I really want it.
I
Okay,
need you guys to watch
We'll come back to it.
the trailer. Cause like I saw the trailer and I was like, hey,
Trailer for.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Okay, I put it in the Twitch chat. Let me know when you're ready.
It's a minute. Okay.
Why don't you
We're
just
ready.
play it on the screen and then we'll all watch it?
Because
Ooh, I
that's
like that.
delayed. Just
No. Yeah, but not for the audience.
there is no audience. You are the audience.
Okay, but while that's playing, I'm going to read this Mad Lib at the
Okay.
same time.
No,
Okay, I like that.
no, I need focus
Let-
here.
So let me know when you're ready.
Read your stupid ad lib.
I am Silverman. Has he lost his arm? Can he see or is he silver? Can he silver at all? Or if he silvers, will he fall? Is he glimmery or dead? Has he falcons within his parts? We'll just weakens him there. Why should we even care? He was turned to silver in the great magnetic field when he traveled time to the future of Jesus Christ. Nobody hates him. He just stares at the world, planning his vengeance that he will now soon unfurl. Now the time is here for Silverman to spread fear vengeance from London, wasting the people he once saved. Nobody loses him. They just turn their heads. Blah, blah, blah. Leisurely shirt of lead. Fills his victim full of dread. Hitting as fast as they can. Silverman lives again.
I think we actually have a Marvel movie there. That's a
Congratulations on the first completed Mad Lib in 17 years.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
Dude, Mad Libs are fun. I don't know why people don't just do them all the time.
Yeah, I have actually. That's all I'm gonna. Next
Guys,
time
you guys want to deviate from the topics list and just do Mad Libs for an hour?
I do not. No.
I do not.
Sure.
All right, so Doc, continue.
That one was so
talking
good,
about-
J Money. How could we top it? Okay. Okay. Are we ready?
Sure.
Yes.
So we saw the trailer.
Hold on. No, I didn't watch the trailer. Can I watch it for a minute? Everyone, shh, for one more minute.
Okay. Give them a minute. Let's have a minute and 8 seconds of dead air.
Nope.
I don't really think the sound matters too much, personally.
It doesn't. It literally does not matter at all.
Guys, you're running for me.
The trailer actually meant nothing to me.
The trailer was meaningless.
I mean, it's just a bunch of. It might as well just be a random 100 Google images.
Yeah,
Is it-
exactly.
Is this Desert Storm?
It is. It's a complete encapsulation of the Desert Storm campaign.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's the vibe I was getting. So.
That's why you see Jake Gyllenhaal and he's like all
Yes.
emo and stuff, and he really wants to
He-
shoot somebody, but he doesn't. And he doesn't. He's mad about that.
He's really mad at the world. Yeah. I saw that. That was 30 seconds of the 1 minute trailer.
The twist at the end of Jarhead is that he's Banksy the whole time. Oh, man, so many spoilers. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry.
It was Bruce Willis the whole time.
All right, yeah, Dave, hit us with now that Justin is
Okay.
Sorry.
has to finish the. Hit us with your thoughts on Neon.
I
Genesis,
saw
Neon.
the trailer. I was like, okay, robots fighting. That's cool. Looks like there's some cool action, some striking visuals. And there is that. It's weird.
I feel like this guy warned you about it.
I did
Well,
warn
he
you.
hadn't seen it. He didn't know.
I'm just saying.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like he might have warned you against this exact.
Well, I mean, most of the internet warned me about it, but I was like, it's only 26 episodes. What do I have to do?
Could you describe us what the plot is? And what
So-
you thought about it?
This is following the second impact. About half, or at least half of the Earth's population is dead.
Okay,
So that's
So
not
Thanos.
great.
this was in the Marvel movie. I'm caught up.
Yes. Yes. So that post-snap,
Love you guys.
and there are these things called angels,
Well, I know about those too.
which are
Yeah,
then
like in real-
attacking Tokyo 3. We're on the
Oh,
third.
okay.
We're on the third one.
Mm,
Well,
Uh,
Godzilla destroyed the first two.
If only.
Okay.
right.
I don't know if these universes intersect. Although, now that you've mentioned that, the guy who created this has done a Godzilla movie recently.
Okay.
Point of order: when a city gets destroyed, traditionally you don't rename that city. Like Istanbul has been sacked multiple times in this
Yeah.
history. It was constant. You might rename it, but you never be like there's no like Constantinople 2
Or
Istanbul 3.
do you say we're not going to let them win? Tokyo 2. Come at me again.
I think isn't that what you're saying? Like that
Come
they
at
did
me
win?
again. Do it
You beat
again.
us the first time.
Let's see if you
Okay.
can do it again. Tokyo 3. I bet you can't do it again.
I think that's more of an admission of defeat, but okay. All right. I can see an argument for that.
You can't let them win, Fallon.
Okay. You're right. No, you're right.
So yeah, and there's these big robots called Avas that are piloted by 14-year-olds.
Best reflexes, so makes sense to me.
Yes. There's actually a
Very hip.
much weirder reason for that.
Okay.
Do you want to
Probably
know?
don't even want-
Do you
I probably
want?
didn't.
Do you want to know why it's 14-year-olds?
No, I really don't.
Okay, here's why. So this is 15 years post the second impact.
Sure.
Of
So
what?
the souls of these children's mothers are in the robots.
Mhm.
So the children are the only ones capable of interfacing
Mm.
with that soul well enough to pilot the robot.
Mhm,
I think.
mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's good.
How do you trap a mom soul in a robot?
You know, they don't get into it. Or if they
You
do,
use the D&D spell Trap the Soul.
yeah,
I
there
think,
you go.
obviously.
Easy. A level 3 spell at best. I don't know. Visually very impressive. Other than that, I didn't get it. So
Are we still talking about the trailer?
yes.
Send.
I thought there were lots of good drawings.
The shift from
That's
the
fine.
whole show to the last 2 episodes itself is almost worth experiencing just with how absolutely bonkers those last 2 episodes are. And I've talked with Junkblade a little bit. There's like conflicting rumors on if they ran out of money, or if that's there's also conflicting ideas if that's actually what the guy wanted to do.
It literally just turns into sketches.
There are sketch parts of it. There are very little moving frames of animation.
You always say that's what I meant to do. If there's one thing I've learned...
Do you
in the
guys
whole
remember? Have you guys seen 2001?
Yeah, Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
I need to.
Do you remember the
haven't.
part where it's just that dude's face for like 45 minutes?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
end of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Best part of the movie. That's what everybody says. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
watch-
what everyone says. Yeah, makes a
watch
lot
the
of
colors.
makes a lot of sense. That's basically that, except with talking, I guess. But I didn't.
Sounds
I
like-
didn't get it then, and I don't get it now.
Oh, yeah.
But no, robot fighting's cool.
I like robot fighting.
Robot fighting's good.
Can you talk to your mom's soul while you're robot fighting?
That's vague at best. Not really. Turns out the Avas don't really. They kind of tend to go berserk.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Well, I don't know. Why would I think anything about it? If I'm living in a world where mom souls are in robots,
Yeah.
I mean, why would I assume anything?
Turns
about
out human souls maybe don't like it as much.
being trapped in a robot?
Yeah. So yeah, I finished that journey. And they
I'm
just
proud of you.
keep like remaking it, which is weird. So they
do.
released a movie like 1 year later called The End of Ava, which like fleshed out the ending more. I was like, I don't need this.
And I think they've done that like 2 or 3
And
times.
now they're called the Rebuild movies. They're doing the 4th one.
For
I
Tokyo.
think it's like
Tokyo 4?
Unfortunately, no. It doesn't appear to have moved past the original story.
Hmm.
They're just like remaking it and going, we can animate more, I guess. I don't know.
All right, give me a rating out of 10, just
Oh,
like we did
God.
for the Marvel movie.
Well, did we do a rating out of 10 for the Marvel movie?
We did. We did that Mad Lib. That was our rating out of 10.
Oh, okay. Well, then I give it the agency that controls the Avas is called NERV. So
What does
that's
that stand for?
I don't know if it stands for anything.
Okay.
The Human
It's an
Instrumentality Project, Valen.
Okay.
So-
It's
So-
a really
why-
so basically they want to turn all of humanity into goo, and then like combine us all into like this primordial ooze, so that the barriers between us are no longer there.
Oh, I like it. It's like a
And
unification
then
project.
you know
It's
we're
like a big
able,
hug.
you know, like
It's a
you know
big
how
hug.
we text sometimes. It's like that, but instantaneously.
Hmm.
I assume that's the
It's
only
like a big
difference.
hug.
Yeah.
It's a giant hug.
So there's a fairly drawn out sequence where everyone turns to goo.
Everyone does turn to goo.
Yeah, they do it.
They succeed.
They do. Yeah. So check it out
I need to stop talking about this. I gotta move. I can't do it.
on Netflix as we speak. Just saying.
Okay. This is an extended ad for Netflix, actually.
The opening theme is called "A Cruel Angel's Thesis," so I don't know how to sell you better than that.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Good name.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mega Man X.
All right, so this was part of my little project to just play the first 3 X games. I may add X4 to that list because I still have the Mega Man X collection for GameCube, and from what I've been told, X4 is the other one that has aged pretty well.
Are you able to control those games with the GameCube controller?
I personally am able to.
Okay, I have the. I think I have the original Mega Man, like the NES Mega Man collection.
Yes, I have
And-
that as well.
And boy, am I not able to. I mean, it could just be that I'm bad, but
Didn't
Ooh.
we beat like the first? It was at least 2 and 3 one night. You, me, and Tommy were just trying to blaze through a few of them.
Yeah, a long time ago. I remember that.
That was pretty fun. Anyway, I will have to play X4 to say this for certain, but oddly enough, I think the series kind of peaked at X2 in terms of mechanics. Because it has both a good balance of you can start with most of the bosses and aren't completely screwed, and just the balance in the game actually being fairly good, as opposed to, say, Mega Man X, where there are several bosses who, if you start with them, you're just screwed.
Yeah.
And similar with Mega Man X3, and X3 has that additional problem of every enemy dealing twice as much damage as they're actually supposed to. Mega Man X, since I actually know the order to beat things in, was pretty enjoyable to replay. Of course, because I have to. I did a 100% run and got the Hadoken,
excellent.
which I found out after playing does not actually work on the final boss's final form. It just pinks off of him.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it works on the dog and then his first form, but when it's the weird combination thing, attempting to use it on him just plinks away.
Kind
Are
of
you-
cool that they.
Wait. Well, I feel like I've watched enough speed runs where they do it, though. Am I wrong?
Maybe I just watched a thing where somebody was like trying to prove that it doesn't work, and
This is
did not
X2?
actually connect with it. Is what happened.
Which X is this?
The first one,
Oh,
the very first one.
hang on.
Would like to apologize.
100%.
J Money got dusted.
J Money got dusted. All right, guys, who used the Infinity Gauntlet?
Alright, you mean when he's got his... So Mega Man X, he's got his saber. Right? He Hadoukened that form. So you're saying...
The weird thing with the hands, that from what I've been told, you cannot actually insta-kill with the Hadouken.
Oh, let's see. Oh, I think you might be right now that I'm looking at the Goofy. That is correct. He's using a ball weapon. Huh.
Learn something new every day, huh?
Yeah. Pay more attention, Doc. Shit.
The best boss to start with in Mega Man X, in my experience, is Chill Penguin, because he gives you the leg capsule in the normal course of his stage, which enables you to dash, which is very helpful.
Gotta go fast.
The X games, yeah.
Get those ice physics out of the way early, too.
Yeah, that too. He's also not that hard to beat as a boss compared to some people like Armored Armadillo, who was just awful. Anyway, I think that was the only one I didn't stream just because I was really not feeling it that night, but I will probably stream it in the future.
Alright, good thing Justin's back. He didn't get dusted. That's really
Oh, thank goodness.
He got turned into a
You missed an excellent discussion of Mega Man X.
Oh man, no, dang it.
Yeah.
Boy,
if you could put some pupils on your eyes, that'd be okay.
My current rating.
A lot of drugs are there. So.
Well, you did a ton of them. It's very dilated.
Current rating.
Current rating, I would put X2 at the top, then X, then X3 in terms of actual mechanics, and then X3 is probably still my favorite despite all its flaws, just because of how much I've played it and nostalgia factor.
Understandable. Cool.
Awesome. My transitions are good tonight. Link's Awakening, Doc.
Yeah, so another well, I guess this actually does count because it just came out
yes,
for the Switch, a remake.
Oh man,
and it also released along with this little guy who I had to pick up because I have no control.
Man, that's a really good little figurine.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've beaten the first 2 dungeons so far. So Link's Awakening it's one of those, I would put it in the Majora's Mask category where there's a fairly devoted following trying to tell, feels like me specifically, that this is the best Zelda game, and I just go, it's on the Game Boy. But so I think so far I'm very much enjoying this remake on the Switch. I think one of the things, I guess one of the things at the time was I just apparently just didn't quite stick with it enough to kind of figure out what to do. So I remember always getting 30 minutes in and just kind of getting lost.
Right. It was actually, I remember when I first tried to play it, I got stuck and I didn't go back to it until like years later.
Yeah. Another aspect is that they've added the 2 other buttons. So like there's still only 2 like item buttons, but your sword is a dedicated button, so you don't have to unequip your sword at any point.
That's nice.
Which is nice, because I do remember getting far enough to be like, I don't want to unequip my sword every 10 seconds to move this boulder. So that's a very good quality of life change, and just the look of it is really cool, because it's just kind of this, I'm not sure, people use the term tilt shift, but I'm not entirely sure what that means.
It's tilt shift. It's,
almost,
it's,
almost claymation kind of, but not quite that.
Tilt shift.
Not quite.
That's a word I use a lot.
But so the look of it's fantastic. The music's really good. Kind of how they've updated the Game Boy sounds and stuff. Like some of the noises are still just kind of the Game Boy noises, and then the music itself has been updated. I don't have any beverage to I failed. But really, 2 dungeons in so far, really enjoying it quite a bit. And I want to stick through it, because it's one of that and Majora's Mask are probably the 2 Zelda games I need to beat to really have, because I played both of them. I can't. At the time, but never got far enough where I felt like I could, give a
So, Doc, what needs to happen is we need to find some time where we can hang out for a few days, and I just play Majora's Mask for you. That way you have the experience without having to suffer through it.
I should play it, right?
Especially if
you should.
Yeah.
But we should still do that. It just,
I would still really enjoy doing that.
Well, that's
yes.
kind of cool. Looks like I have. What would you call this? I've got like those chopsticks in my bun. If I had a bun, and they're just like really pronounced.
Hmm.
I
oh,
look
okay.
amazing right now.
Yeah, you're about to hack into the mainframe or something.
So, Doc,
Already happened. Already in.
would you say Link's Awakening is worth the $60 that you?
I think so. Just because it's a game I haven't played, and I think the visual update is significant. And it's it's a Zelda game that I can play on like my Switch. So I mean, had I played through the Game Boy game a bunch of I guess if I played through it a bunch, that means I probably enjoyed it enough that being able to play it like this would be enough. But I mean, I could see wanting to wait till it goes down a little. But I mean, Nintendo games don't go down. Don't tend to go down a ton. So
at least the good ones don't.
Yes. So.
And I think that's my only complaint about it, and the only thing kind of holding me back is $60 is a little bit much to ask for a remake.
I will say that I don't. It feels kind of like just a 2D Zelda game. Like I don't really feel like it's necessarily limited as a 1993 Game Boy game was. Mm-hmm. So that really hasn't crossed my mind too much, but I could see that being kind of a sticking point for sure.
Yeah, I personally would like it if they'd have asked for like 40 for it.
40, that seems like a sweet spot to me, yeah. But
especially if it's like a digital only release. I don't know if it is. I think they're doing that with
I got the physical.
Crystal Chronicles Remastered for some dumb reason.
They're not releasing a physical of that?
I might be confusing it with a different game that I was looking forward to.
I'll have to look at that, because I feel like Square usually throws out a physical version.
Digital only?
One game that isn't $60 that I do recommend, I'm going to play it as soon as I finish Link's Awakening, but it's called Untitled Goose Game.
Okay.
And
you've mentioned it a few times.
Yes, I highly recommend you watch the trailer if you don't know what I'm talking about. But you basically, do you guys know the Hitman games?
Yes.
It's like that, but you're a goose and annoying people. So
I've seen that. That looks really cool.
Yes,
that actually does look enjoyable.
So it came out last week also, and
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Jay Money and I once played one of the Hitman campaigns for a little bit, where I was we had the controller plugged in. I was the keyboard. He was the controller, and both of us had a designated set of actions we could perform.
That's great.
It was very difficult.
that was the new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game very impressive. I
love that.
I played a little bit of it. The stuff you could do in that was.
I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
I appear to have thankfully been mistaken. I can't find anything saying that Crystal Chronicles is going to be digital only. I think I was confusing it with another game that only I am looking forward to.
What game is that?
Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh, no, people are excited about that.
It was released in like 2012 over in Japan, but they're going to do a digital only US release, which I am happy for that they're releasing in the US at all, because I really enjoyed the first Phantasy Star Online.
Is that an Xbox only?
No, it shouldn't be. Because Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2, the previous game, was PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube.
I know, but I thought
version. There should be
like
a version
Xbox was like paying to bring it over.
That would be weird, but I mean,
because like people expected it to Western release.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
North American was announced at Microsoft's E3 podcast. The game will feature cross-play between Xbox One and PC.
I thought it would be released for the Switch as well for some reason.
I think Microsoft is like paying to like bring for paying for the translation and like paying to make it happen. Similar to like
that's fair.
There's like the Bayonetta 2 for Wii U only I think that's out now on other stuff, but it'll be interesting to see if that eventually comes to other platforms, because it feels like the Switch it would be definitely a a popular system for that kind of game, I think.
Yeah. And even though they did push back Crystal Chronicles to January 23rd, I am thankful that they are allowing cross-platform play.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason for the pushback, was to enable cross-platform play.
Well, I'm getting on that on the Switch, and we're gonna play it, and it's gonna be great.
Yes, we are.
And
Hey,
Fallon's
Joe
gonna have a Switch by then,
Yeah.
and he's gonna play with us.
Yep. Maybe. J Money, how
Yeah,
well can you see right now with all the drugs that you did earlier?
I can see very well now.
My pupils are also super dilated from all of those that I did. It's very difficult to see.
You're not even looking at the camera. You're looking like directly.
A lot of uppers and goofballs
game.
and whirly gigs.
Also, you're cut
Cream
off.
soda, baby.
And with that, on to Fable.
I say,
Oh, finally a game that I've played.
Great,
So-
everybody can talk about this guy.
So
I don't
Fable,
remember much.
I decided.
Sorry.
I just decided to replay a bit because I enjoy coming back to it every once in a while. For a game that was made in 2005, it's really not bad. And I personally prefer the first game to the sequels for various reasons.
you playing on
And-
PC?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I actually have a computer version that I bought at Best Buy years ago, right here.
Oh, okay.
Playing back through it has sort of given me a little bit more insight into what the inherent problem with the series seems to have been. And the problem is, as best I can sum up, they wanted to be Mass Effect.
Oh, tough to be Mass Effect.
It's very tough to be Mass Effect. They wanted, like, every decision to have a consequence and have that affect the storyline, but for one, very hard to do in 2005. And
It's still hard to do, probably.
Still hard to do, but even harder back then. And
It's called life, baby.
with the sequels, they just didn't. It's sort of the same thing in every game where you have certain actions that you have to take to advance the story no matter what. You have no alternative.
Yeah,
And
I remember that was frustrating because they acted like you have all this agency and you don't.
And sometimes that would be really frustrating. Like in the second game, they introduce as the hero of skill this absolute asshole named Reaver who is not enjoyable in any way. And I literally just wanted to shoot him in the face through the entire game.
I can't imagine that feeling right now.
Oh, you're not perfect empaths like me and J Money, so
Yeah.
I understand.
Fable 3 suffered from a really short development cycle and ideas that just do not work. Like, the pause screen in that game is infamous for being one of the worst ideas for a video game ever.
Can you elaborate? Because that, I don't know it.
I don't remember, yeah.
So instead of actually pausing and having like inventory, quests, options, blah blah blah, you go to this other dimension, and in order to get to your inventory, you have to go through a door, which requires going through a loading screen.
God.
Or to go to this other part, you have to go through a door, which again, loading times. Like,
Why wouldn't you just have an inventory
See,
screen?
yeah, this is the kind of thing that, for like world building, quote unquote, people get ahead of themselves and forget that it's a video game.
yeah, exactly.
This is like that Anthem BioWare game where you're picking up loot as you're going through a level, but you can't equip it till you get back to base to your stupid workbench or what. And it's like, what? Who thought this was? Who's played a video game before?
Yeah,
That's bad.
it made the game so frustrating, and
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I don't think I will ever replay Fable 3. I probably won't even replay Fable 2 just because of some of the flaws with it. I will probably continue to replay Fable 1.
Okay.
And part of the reason I wanted to bring up this topic, great news, everybody. There's going to be a Fable 4.
Excellent.
There's actually been leaks, and they've confirmed that it is in development. They have one of Valen's favorite things, which is they're fixing issues with it with time travel.
Ooh.
But
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Don't have time travel, guys. It's really easy to not.
yeah, just set it to the time that you want it to take
Right.
place in.
Ah,
It's really
the,
easy when.
the before time, the long ago.
Mhm.
I am happy that they're going back to more of a medieval thing instead of a gunpowder era thing, because the later games, you just lost a bunch of options in the translation. Like, you could only use crossbows, you couldn't use any other type of bow anymore, and then a lot of the melee weapons got cut entirely, and you didn't have armor, you just had clothing. It was far less enjoyable. That made it far less enjoyable for me specifically.
Gotcha.
And that's beyond just the general plot issues that hopefully, given how much time they've had between Fable 3 and now, hopefully they can get it to more of a Mass Effect style game where you've got a lot of different options instead of really dumb attempts at a morality system.
Well, how high are your hopes about that time?
I am cautiously optimistic.
Okay, that's probably good.
J Money, how do you get your face to stay on? It's really trouble. Is it like
I think he has tape.
An exfoliating cream or a lotion? I don't know why you couldn't answer this. I don't know what about your Matt.
Oh, I've been talking for quite a while.
Okay.
I made a very good Doc Brown comment that you guys just ignored. You guys,
I would have definitely left on that with the time.
Alas.
you ignored me so hard. But it's one thing that's hard about being a 2D paper guy is no peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So I can't see that one of my mics muted.
Okay, let's try this again. Hey, time travel.
When do you see Doc Brown in this game?
That's a good question. I mean, I think all of the Fables can be improved by just adding a DeLorean.
Hey, what about a time turner, Junkblade?
Ooh, also a good
Is
option.
that a Harry Potter?
That's
Yes.
Harry Potter. What about Terminator? Remember when they time traveled? Naked.
Time to time travel.
Although, can you be naked if you're a robot?
You can't.
I need to go back
travel.
to Evangelion and see if they answer those questions.
They answer them in Avengers. You got to go to the quantum space where anything's possible, even though
the quantum realm.
I love how they're in every Avengers movie. There's like the setup period where they got to form the cast, and there's somebody who suggests a solution, and they're all like, "This is crazy. It's a 1 in 20 trillion shot of success. All right, let's do it, boys. Maybe only Iron Man will die." Also,
I think that's
Widowmaker
acceptable
person.
odds, really.
I like how everybody was super sad about Tony Stark, and nobody gave a nice eulogy for Widowmaker. Hawkeye was just like, "Hey, it kind of sucks. She's dead."
Who's
And
Widowmaker?
then everyone else, exactly right.
Wait, is the name Widowmaker, or did you get the name?
Isn't her name? Isn't her name
the Black Widow.
the Black Widow? Yeah.
She
Black
died.
Widow.
From Overwatch.
She died from a heart attack and obstruction of her left coronary artery. The Widowmaker.
Did Black Widow die in that movie?
Yeah. She's thrown into she's sacrificed to get the Soul Stone.
Oh, ooh.
She's not dead. She's just in soul stone.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Not only
the
is-
Russell brothers have outright said she's not.
Well,
going
you
back.
know Gamora's coming back, so that's.
Yeah, but Gamora got like a loophole, so they brought her
Yeah.
back.
Oh,
Black
classic.
Widow apparently doesn't get the same. I'm gonna call her Widowmaker. I like that better. 'Cause I
Okay.
like the Overwatch character. The Overwatch
Play
character has
of the
more depth
game.
for me.
The
Okay.
secret to time travel is love.
Yeah,
One thing
That's it actually.
I want to
Kevin
do
broke the code.
with you guys at some
Binary.
point here is I was home at some point recently
Let me show you.
and found some old CD-ROMs that I want to see if I can get running again.
Oh,
And I need you guys to join me on this journey. I've got Myst. I've got X-Wing. I have the Magic School Bus Explores the Human Body.
that'd be a really good one.
I have
Most.
Star
Do you have
Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2.
Do you have any Freddy Fish games?
I don't. I have Trophy Bass, Lego Island, and Microsoft Encarta Encyclopedia 99.
Lego Island was hot garbage.
Oh,
You knew
it was
it'd be
so
that
good.
shit.
Oh, it was so good.
Lego
That is
Island
the that is the first game I remember going. The frame rate
the
on
pizza.
this isn't
The
great.
pizza.
The pizza was so good.
The pizza. He's stealing all the pizza.
God, what?
At him, and then he just throws them recklessly.
Yeah.
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 So I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to get those going.
I remember as a child, I was like, it'd be cool if they made a Lego game where you could just build Legos. So I basically invented Minecraft.
Ah.
I wish I had followed up on that. We could all be
Yeah.
billionaires now.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have to deal with the guy who actually created Minecraft, who's a raging
Yeah. Notch
garbage
is
can of a person. So
Apparently, Notch is not a good person.
no.
But them's the breaks, right?
Yeah, that's
Them's
how
the
it
breaks.
goes.
This
Speaking
is
of
why
garbage
most of the-
people, no one seems to be happy in Darkest Dungeon. Pretty dark in there.
Oh yeah, a lot of it's. You've got the expansion, Gates of Garbage.
An even darker dungeon. Please tell me.
So-
I can't remember what it's called, but I know it's not that, and I'm very disappointed.
That would be a good name for it.
Those letters are backwards.
They should. Yeah, you shouldn't call your first one Darkest Dungeon because you don't know where to go from there.
COD.
You can only make the dungeon lighter from there. That was a big mistake on their part. I need to write them a letter about that.
Well, see, no, your first one is called the Darkest Dungeon. The second one is the Deepest Dungeon. And then you just keep going with...
Or your second one is, oh shit, we found an even darker dungeon. You guys won't believe it, but check out this lore dump in the first 5 minutes.
I think you call it My Bad, an even darker dungeon.
Yeah. What was that pigment called? You call it that really dark pigment.
Black 3.0.
Hey guys, remember last game where I said this was my bad, the darkest dungeon? This game's actually the darkest dungeon.
And then that becomes My Bad too.
All right, guys,
bad is bad.
This is some black paint right here.
You can't even tell how black it is because it absorbs.
So much light.
It absorbs your eyes into it.
Yeah, I'm losing my vision right now.
Isn't a black hole the blackest black you could have?
Well, you'd have to be able to see it to tell.
How about a double black hole?
Tell you what, that first picture we got wasn't great. I'm not sure it's impressive to get it, but like, I looked at
That
the
was
picture.
somebody in Photoshop. That
I
was
was
somebody
like,
in
I
Photoshop.
could take a picture of this blurry.
Yeah. This means nothing. This means absolutely nothing.
Guys, we just need to call up Matthew McConaughey and he'll sort this all out.
Oh yeah, that's right. He fixed everything.
He's been
his-
in a black hole. He's been inside one.
I like.
Is that
how
the movie where he cried a lot?
It's the movie where it's interstellar.
Oh, didn't see it.
Yeah, he lost all the weight for it, and it was really sad when he got. I guess that's not really a joke at this point. I'm not going to talk about him in the
And
cowboy movie.
And then his brother's actually a better boxer than he is.
Right. That's the one. But he solved that murder. At least he finally solved that murder with
And he
Woody Harrelson.
Win all the fights.
And he was hitting on high school girls.
Yeah, why does everybody not get mad at him for that? That's terrible.
'Cause
That line
he's like,
didn't age well.
yeah, he's like, I get older
know
and they
what?
stay the same age. Yes, they
All
do.
right, all right, all
Yes,
right.
they do.
And then his
That
two
is
high
so
school
creepy.
It's
kids.
like, hey, Matt, not great, bud.
We'll go.
They make
pretty
friends with that
nice,
guy
which I
named
think you'll like the
McLovin,
concept of. It's like Grimm's Fairies
and
Tales.
they hang out with cops,
Plus,
and
you
then
know,
go
more
to a
fairies for you.
party.
I think his best work is in those commercials for that vehicle he would never ever
Oh
drive.
my god.
No,
And just like the commercials themselves, it's like, what aspect of the car are you even attempting to highlight here other than, hey, check out him making this cool pool shot, except we don't show if he made it or not. He just hits it and walks away.
At a party to which nobody else is in the same room, and then he leaves
Yep.
the party without saying anything to anyone.
because you're better than other people when you drive a Lincoln.
Yeah, it's a Lincoln, that's right.
That's a fact.
Everybody who made that commercial, and I don't say this lightly, should be pushed off a bridge. Maybe not high enough that they die, but
Hey,
Just push
Scrape
off the
their knee,
bridge.
yeah.
That
Enough to make
Chad
them think
got
about
kicked
it.
off of.
but enough that they break their hands and they can never ride another commercial.
Have you guys seen the Buick commercial where they just shit on other Buicks?
no.
Where
I
it's
gotta-
just like, it's like people going like, how are we going to fit in that Buick? And it's like, it's not that Buick, it's this Buick. And then it's like someone else is like, how are we going to put our surfboards on the Buick? And it's like, not that piece of shit, this Buick over here. It's like, why are
Oh my
you
god.
I have seen that.
why are you
commercial,
dumping
actually.
on your own product, guys? It's not even like 90s Buicks. It's like,
Oh my god. Doc, I really want to intercut that commercial now with me standing there with the car they're talking about, the Buick, and just being really sad the whole time. Like, no, there's
I
a
could
decent amount of passengers I can fit.
I fit a paddleboard in here a number of
I-
times.
I'm just... Dungeons and Dragons.
We didn't even get to Darkest Dungeon.
I felt we
Wow.
covered the relevant bits, right?
Yeah, what are
I was just gonna say, Valid and I are gonna start another campaign up.
starting to run?
We're gonna. Our aim is to get the achievement Redemption on the Old Road, which requires that the Crusader and Gunslinger you start with, which I always name after Valen and I, have to make it to the final dungeon.
Is there any chance the rest of us can observe some of this journey?
I was planning on it. I think we're going
Excellent.
to finish this episode of The Good Place, and then we're going to stream this.
We could just go straight into this, especially if they're going to hang out with us.
Well, I was just going to. Yeah, we'll finish the rest of that episode tonight because
I'll probably do it from my iPad.
that is perfectly
But I
fine.
will be.
Or I might play if J Money's going to play something. I might play something with him first, then do that.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless. When you live in a world of not a Fable world where you're on rails with your storyline decisions,
There you go.
we take full advantage of the wealth of freedom we have.
Speaking of being on rails with storyline decisions, Dungeons and Dragons. So
Have you had some better sessions than the last time we talked?
I don't think we've had a session since the last time we talked, because that was a local gaming store's 6th anniversary was the Saturday that was after the last time we talked, and we all went for that instead.
The Warhammer anniversary. Classic. Sixth.
Guy always butts in.
6th
Hey, man,
anniversary.
it's my
Warhammer.
spot.
Warhammer is actually like 35.
No, I meant like, your 25th anniversary is like the silver one.
Okay.
I'm saying the 6th anniversary of a gaming store is the Warhammer one. The
That's like
5th one is D&D, so you could have played D&D had it been the 5th anniversary.
I get it.
I've lost. I've
Especially-
gone too deep.
Well, especially since that would, it's the 5th edition right
Yeah,
now.
right?
So.
There's so many levels, it fits.
So
It's just, I just can't. I'm so distracted by fucking Hannibal Lecter over here.
Can we all do our best Hannibal Lecter impressions real fast?
I eat people, and it's gross.
It's really good. It's scary, man.
I'm waiting to deliver with a side of fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah, I can't do that part.
Very good. J Money, hit us with your best. Anthony
You're-
Hopkins.
You're a female detective, and I'm a male detainee/prisoner, and I have rights.
That's verbatim. I didn't know you memorized.
Who could
the movie.
forget that classic scene?
What about this one? Give me things and let me look at you, and I'll tell you stuff.
It's
Yep.
the premise of every
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. I have nothing
Classic.
left to say about this.
So, the D&D sum up. This Saturday, we're probably going to play in the campaign with Los Platos Dragoon, the Warforged Luchador.
Yes.
And that's the one that's slightly on rails at the moment.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I love Los Platos Dragoon. The new player who joined our group, they're playing an orc fighter who is going to begin to follow the way of Lucha. So we're going to have at least 2 luchadors in the group.
Does that mean his entrance music is not decided yet?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Big possibilities here.
Yeah, the last session, the campaign itself was fine. The annoyance was mostly due to out-of-game things. Like I said, I don't mind if people are on their phones, but when I'm trying to get the campaign to continue literally like 3 times and it keeps getting sidetracked by something somebody saw on their phone, then it gets
No
annoying.
good. Yeah.
Especially because I'm there to play D&D.
Yeah.
And it was already kind of going really slowly that night.
Yeah. It's an escapist game, guys. Come on.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a little further, especially since we were going to... the next bit of this is we are getting in the middle of an argument between liches. We don't know what the basis of the argument is, but there are 3 different types of liches we are going to encounter.
Dead stuff, probably.
Interesting. I only know of one type of lich.
There's the basic lich, which is, creepy skeleton dude. There's the Iron Lich, which is like a construct version. And then there's a thing called the Worm That Walks, which is basically Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I hate when I have a lich, but I can't reach it, like, in the middle of my back.
That is the worst.
J Money, could you do the thing again where you were like, do this thing real fast, but like show me the trail of the bullet?
The other plot line that we are going to attend to in that campaign, once one of our players returns, his job is screwing him on Saturdays at the moment. He doesn't get off until like 9:30. And he's really important for this plot line.
Doesn't have to be the other way? Oh, wow.
We're going to be dealing with a Fae celebration, and one of the other player characters, as part of their background, has told an archfey to go fuck himself. Which is as bad of an idea as...
Was there like a D&D way of saying that, though?
No.
Oh.
It's pretty universal.
Actually, all right, next week, or whenever the heck we get back together to do this, I want to come up with some D&D swears.
Like old-timey ways.
I just say, it could be made up, could be old-timey, could be, just...
I still
Go fuck yourself seems a little too...
Right, that's modern.
Yeah.
Well, it fits the character they're playing, but yes, there are definitely some more creative swears.
Right.
Like, for example, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Yeah, elderberries. Who even knows what those are? Nobody.
Go fornicate under consent of the king, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah.
The, I'm sure, apocryphal story of what that even means, but...
Basically, it means your mother was a slut and your father was a drunk.
No, not that. I'm talking about the apocryphal.
Oh!
I'm talking about the
Easy.
story I always heard is that fuck is an acronym, fornicate under consent of the king.
That's pretty funny.
It was an old, yeah.
I feel like we heard that in like 5th grade.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but that's has to be true.
J-Money, how many goddamn animals are in that room?
This is a puppy. It's a puppy dog. He's all tangled up in my cords. Good boy.
Good job.
Your
Good
other one
job,
is
Leroy.
attempting to,
He's getting
fall
really
off.
jealous. He's getting really jealous. Leroy, say hi to the camera.
My
Hello.
goodness.
Wow, the drawing this time is much better. How did you get it to move? This is a
Yeah.
good flip book.
Hi, I'm a dog. How?
And for the next D&D update
Wait,
to
wait.
Amazon to check for a giant whiteboard.
Ah! Yes. Yes, to
Because
help
I'm
us
going
keep
to
track
start
of
making
everything.
One.
Playing with them boys. It's probably been over an hour, right?
It's
We are,
actually, we've got
Right
1
at
minute.
an hour?
God, we are so good at this.
Frolfing with the
All right, give us.
Next time, Val and I will have once again played some Darkest Dungeon. We will have finished The Good Place. And we will probably have played some horrible games in the meantime, like Fable 1, or I don't know.
I'm sure we'll have an epic Counter-Strike game to recount as well.
Hopefully.
I will try to get further in Link's Awakening and see if I can't pop a couple of these compact discs.
I'm going to try to get in touch with Dwight Howard, the professional basketball player, to explain to him how Thanos is the bad guy and he shouldn't like Thanos.
I am going to
I mean,
text
my
my cousin and tell him to bring Suikoden 2 when he comes down to visit. So
I
that'd be
mean,
a fun one to do.
Thanos, he's got a cool metal glove. He clearly, can handle himself in a scrap.
Do you think everybody on his planet was that tough?
He's got a
or is
cool
that
voice.
just-
I wanted to see more people. Did they have the same purple?
His daughters are super tough.
Weird
No, I
chin?
mean,
But those are
his
fake.
daughters-
Those aren't real daughters, though, right?
I thought they were real daughters.
No,
No,
they're
there's-
adopted.
They're ones he
adopted.
just took from worlds that he decimated.
What about Wizard Guy?
They're
Huh?
abducted
Not
daughters.
related.
Oh, the
Black Law is not.
No, the children of Thanos is not
I
like a
don't think
real.
Thanos has any actual.
That was just
family.
that was a fake moniker.
It's nice of him to foster all of those monsters.
Yeah.
I'm also going to second part. It's a two-parter with Dwight Howard. First one, explain to him Thanos, bad guy. Second part, saying even if you do really like a character from a movie, just getting an SUV and the color of that character's skin is a weird tribute too. So
That's the microphone.
good job,
I missed
Leroy.
the full saga of this. I just
Did-
saw the bit where Dwight Howard's like, "Yeah, Thanos." And I was like,
Yeah.
you silly
You
guy."
You gotta see his purple SUV, my man.
I don't know
Good.
if I do.
Good news, guys! I can get a 2x3 foot whiteboard for $30, which
That's
is
not
probably
bad.
the size I'm going to need.
That's not bad.
All right, Leroy, can you take us out?
Nearly ran anything, Dad? Oh, tell me about
Leroy.
it.
Oh man, Leroy, that's so true.
That's a good point there, Leroy.
Leroy, you seem remarkably okay with all of this. All right,
All right,
Uh,
everybody.
for Junkblade, J Money, and Doc, I'm Val, and this has been episode 53, Frolfing with the stars or something.
With the boys.
Yeah, it's Kenny Loggins. I almost had it. I was so close.
Someday,
Show him those teeth.
someday we'll
we
get that
always-
sequel.
Get your dog's teeth brushed. Keep it cool.